What's up, my people? Yes, it has come again. Friday is upon us. Happy Friday, America. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Arthur Rawe. I am co-hosting the show with one of my best friends. I'm going to introduce him in just a moment. We have a hell of a program today. Cars on fire, many things going down. You know that's the Frickish who brought us in, and we love playing out that anthem. They crushed it at the 420 Fest. What an awesome time. Now, I do want to introduce the man across the table from me. His name is Kevin, the letter ripper, tater chipper, Batstone.
Let her rip, tater chip, America. Happy Friday. It's the final Friday of April, guys. This year is flying by. What are you doing with your time? Are you enjoying it? Are you having fun? Are you making progress? Let's crush those goals. Let's get into May.
Yes, let's get into May. And we have something that has to do with May the 4th here in just a little bit. So that's going to, this is a good episode. So today in history, I got to start it off with this. Look, in 1859, if you wanted to be acquitted of murder and you were a congressman, then maybe you just plead temporary insanity. Because that worked for Congressman Daniel E. Sickles, and he was acquitted of the murder of Philip Barton Key. Now, It was for temporary insanity, and why this is kind of a big deal is because this was the first time that a defense used this successfully in the United States. Well, kind of interesting.
They still try to, plead insanity in some of these cases, going till today with these, mass shootings and stuff. If they make it to trial, they're like, well, he might be insane, so we're going to try that route. But usually all that ever does anymore is just it gets them out of the death penalty and life in prison. That's really the only gain to it these days. But, yeah, 1859, man.
1859. Going to World War II, everybody knows about the B-29, the Flying Fortresses. So in 1944, the first B-29 was attacked. So the first one's actually flying out there by a Japanese fighter, and one Japanese fighter is shot down. So that's kind of a cool little nod to American technology back then. The first time that one of these bombers was attacked, they shot down a fighter. So that's pretty badass.
I love the aviation. 1962, we had the first Lockheed A-12 takes flight.
Yes, and I did some research on this plane.
Okay.
Do you know what the A-12 is?
I know what it looks like. I mean, I've seen it in not museums, but some aviation programs and whatnot. But no.
Yeah, so that was like it's like all black, really long. It's designed to be a super fast reconnaissance CIA type of aircraft. Wow. And so they made several of these. It's iconic. If you were to see one of these, you'd be like, oh yeah, I've recognized that. Yeah, because it's iconic plane.
It's definitely recognizable, and that was 1962. Also in 1962, Art.
Yeah,
same day.
There was a lot of stuff going on actually in this day in 1962. There are multiple things. So Ranger 4 crash lands on the backside of the moon. That's kind of a big one. You're on the other. It's not even on this planet. And then one more that I had to hit. I don't know if we did nuke news last week, but we had to hit some nuke news this week. So in 1968, U.S. underground nuclear test, nicknamed Boxcar, detonates a 1 megaton device. Now, it got me to thinking, how big is a megaton explosion? And would you like to take a guess? I have the answer written down.
A megaton explosion?
Yes, a megaton nuclear explosion.
We know a ton is, considered to be 2,000 pounds if we're measuring it in weight. So I'm going to say 1 million.
No, how big? 1 million what?
Whatever measurement form involves a million.
like how big of an explosion?
Like area-wise, surface area?
Yeah, like area-wise.
1 million square feet.
1 million square feet? What is that in miles?
I don't know. I guess you have to divide that by 5,280.
Okay, well, I'm not too sure. Maybe you're right. I don't know that
I think
kind
I'm
of
right.
math. I don't know that math, but it's an 80 mile diameter. So
80 mile.
Yeah, 80 miles.
That's big.
In diameter. Yeah, that's huge.
That would take out almost all of Rhode Island.
Yeah, no, that's massive. So that's what a 1 megaton, and that's today in history.
Man.
On this happy Friday.
That's busy.
Now, there's not some happy execs at Red Lobster right now.
Red Lobster. We all grew up going there. You get the lobster out of the tank.
The rolls are so good.
The rolls are good. I mean, they've definitely revolutionized some things over there doing the seafood. At one time, they would consider that fine dining, but really it was just like a fancy seafood restaurant. That's really all it was. I would call it fine dining. But in any case, they had an $11 million loss in 2023. Not looking good. They are considering they have not gone forth yet on a Chapter 11 bankruptcy due to really when they started, peeling the books back and looking at, well, what's going on here? Are we just down on, is it foot traffic? Is it e-commerce? Where are we down? Well, they screwed up with this endless shrimp program because you'd go in and you'd pay whatever it is, $15-$20, and you could eat shrimp like crazy. We all know it's not cheap.
Yeah.
Seafood's not cheap, right? And so when you're talking about this on a franchise corporate level, I don't know if it was every day was endless shrimp. I'm not sure if it was one day of the week. I don't know that much about Red Lobster. But the price of the endless shrimp ended up hurting them in the ass. They weren't able to cover the inventory costs. They were taking all the losses on this program, thinking that if we can just get people in the door to have this endless shrimp, they're going to buy other entrees. Well, no.
Or like alcohol or something else, or like what else are they getting?
That's why any of these restaurants run these programs, right? You get a free appetizer on Monday, whatever. You're trying to get people in the door. Well, evidently, this was a huge loss, Art, and now they might go bankrupt.
So if a company of this size goes bankrupt, do they keep like their doors open?
I think it depends. I mean, you look at like all these brick and mortars that have filed for Chapter 11 over the last few years. Best Buy, have shut down a lot of their locations. Joann's Fabric is going to be going under. That makes more sense to me than a restaurant. But hey, even the culinary world is changing a little bit. But how do you fix this now? I mean, $11 million loss. Obviously, they're going to try and turn around in 24. But if you go Chapter 11, then what? I don't know.
I mean, you could see them like slightly increasing menu prices everywhere. Like every item is like $1 more or something like that. Because restaurants, they do that. And what's crazy about it is the prices never go back down.
No.
Like it's to rebound off of this, but then they're just going to maintain that higher price.
Yeah.
They should have been a little bit more, like you had mentioned before we started recording, Hooters. Like they increased the all-you-could-eat wings, but that was only on Wednesdays too.
That's Wing Wednesday.
Yeah, and the Daytona wings are fantastic.
Top shelf.
But I don't know. I'll just I'll keep it short and sweet on that. And just go ahead and say that I like their biscuits.
I mean, they're great biscuits. We have a very fond memory with my co-host of Master Gas podcast at a Red Lobster in Phoenix, Arizona. What a night that was.
Yes.
We'll leave it at that.
Jeff, you are, we will leave it at that. And what we got coming up here next is, May the 4th is right around the corner, so we got to talk a little bit of Star Wars here.
All right.
And what's happening is Finance Buzz, there's like this, it's Finance Buzz is like this company. And they are wanting to celebrate Star Wars Day coming up May 4th by having somebody who's never seen any of the 9 Skywalker saga movies. They want a novice, what do they call it? A Wookiee rookie.
Rookie.
Yeah, they want a Wookiee rookie to analyze the upcoming, do an upcoming story on the franchise.
Okay.
So what they're going to do is play it in linear order that they were released. So if whoever it is, they go and they don't know why they're not starting with episode 1, why does it start with episode 4, then that's like the perfect person because they literally don't know anything about Star Wars. And
that'd be like me watching Lord of the Rings.
Well, yeah, and you should because it's epic. But you have to be prepared to watch Lord of the Rings. Like that's not just like a quick.
You don't think it'd be the same with Star Wars? You don't have to be prepared.
I mean,
you got to know what's going. You got to get in the right headspace.
If you're going to watch all 9, like. You gotta, like, Lord of the Rings, you could break that into each movie, 2 viewings for each movie, so it's like 6 sittings.
Okay. How long would this take?
Well, this one, you could probably do 1 movie per sitting, so it's 9 sittings.
Which is a long time.
That is.
I mean, you could probably do that in 3-4 days.
But what if you got paid $1,000 to do it?
For the whole project or per movie?
No, for the whole project.
I'd do it. I mean, for an extra $1,000, I mean, that's not,
Yeah, and what if you also got thrown $100 for the streaming services to pay for the viewing?
For the viewing?
Well? Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing to lose.
Yeah, so that's
be a Wookiee rookie.
Be a Wookiee rookie. That's what Finance Buzz is doing. They're paying somebody $1,000 to watch the Star Wars movies. I don't know. They probably already picked out the person, to be honest. But I thought that was a fun one. Have you seen all the Skywalker series? Have you seen all of them?
I've seen a majority, not all of them.
Okay.
No, okay. I would say I have seen more of that than I have Lord of the Rings, other than the famous scene that we like.
Oh yes, yeah. I think that's a great scene.
That's a great. I mean, apparently it's a great film.
It's a great movie. You got to check it out. And what also is great is Kev's Random Records. We got that coming up.
That's right. It's time for my Random Records. This one's pretty fun. We were watching the video of this before we went on so we can kind of take a look. So a woman out of Alberta decided that she wanted to make a run at the longest plank ever done by a woman.
Okay.
So about 10 years ago, she broke her wrist. It was in a cast and, restricted her ability to exercise and some of the things she was able to do. And that's when she discovered that planking was fantastic to work the core, body muscles and get a good workout in. So she got into doing planks. And so this is Donna Jean Wild out of Alberta said, I'm going to try to break the record for the woman's longest plank. And, man, anyone who's tried to plank knows this shit ain't easy. It looks easy. Yeah. It might feel easy for the first 10, 15, 30 seconds, but this shit's not. I mean, I can probably go, I'm the most out of shape I've ever been, maybe 2 minutes. But they do like the plank challenges daily. You go like 30 seconds and a minute the next day, and you kind of do incremental increases. What do you think your max could be?
I would like to think around the 5-minute mark.
Before you hit failure?
Yeah, maybe more. Like, I haven't planked. Like,
I haven't planked either.
I don't know. But this woman here, this lady, she was able
59 years old.
Yeah, she's a grandma.
She's a grandma.
This grandma is doing it.
She's killing it.
Yeah, and she's outperforming younger people. So, like you were saying before the episode, I'm just full of pre-show Kevin quotes right now. He's like, so all these other young people giving excuses not to do stuff, they don't have the excuse anymore. You got your grandma who are outperforming people on a plank.
Or, yeah, even people who have just turned 55 and may qualify for AARP. That's great. But that doesn't mean you can't go break the record for planking. People are like, I'm too old to do that. Well, Donna Jean says, check this out. She planked for 4 hours, 19 minutes, and 55 seconds to now hold the world record for the longest plank done by a female at 59 years old. Congrats to Donna Jean Wild.
Wow, that is congratulations. Way to break a world record there. I also heard from a friend that 95% of people over the age of 30 will never sprint again.
What was the percentage?
Like 95%
will never sprint?
Again.
Wow.
Have you sprinted in your 30s?
Oh, absolutely.
You have?
I like to run in the rain.
Okay.
Just because I don't like, I'm trying to get to wherever I'm going. If I'm taking the trash out, I love a rainy night.
Okay.
And so I'll run in the rain.
I see. I see.
It's a lot of fun. You get wet.
Yeah. Getting wet's great. Yeah. And I was running to throwing frisbees and stuff. And in my walking, sometimes I'll jog and sometimes I'll sprint.
It's good to get some sprints
occasionally
in.
I do that, but that's awesome that she broke that world record. Next, we're going to move on to the would you rather question for this week. The would you rather. However, we got to do a recap on last week.
All right, last week, of course, as everyone knows, once our comments are on, they're sometimes off. YouTube, you're a lot of fun to work with. Hopefully they're on. You can leave a comment below what your answer is, or go over to the Twitter X profile if you have one. That's at HappyFryUSA. Last week, we asked the viewers, would you rather have free food for life or have a free luxury vehicle for life? Okay, this was a close vote, guys. Yes. This was 50-50 right until the show started.
Okay.
55% of the vote is in.
All right.
So we have a majority is taking the food. 55% want free food for life, which is my choice. It's the smarter choice because food is expensive and it's only going to continue to go up. 45% taking a luxury vehicle.
That's cool that happened. Thanks everybody out there who is going with actually the smarter choice, which was taking a car. Because if you think about a luxury car, that's way more expensive than food is.
Yeah, it is. But there's other means of transportation. Not everybody drives.
That's true. And also food, you need that. You don't need a
don't need a car. You could ride a bicycle.
Yeah, bicycle.
Or take the RTD.
Unicycle,
tricycle. See how that works, folks? Motorcycle. So
what we got for this week?
What do we got for the would you rather?
Yeah, thank you everyone for participating. But what we got for this week is we're picking between people here, fictitious characters. We're picking between who would you rather be?
This is an easy one for me.
Tony Soprano. No, but come on, man.
Well,
would you rather be Tony Soprano
or Batman?
No,
I know.
Bruce Wayne. So who would you rather be? Come on, man. You got to think about this.
I have. Fun fact, growing up, my nickname was Batman before it was K-Bat. K-Bat was more of my Denver, Colorado nickname.
Okay.
Everyone in high school called me Batman. I had it on, my first car was a 95 Mercury Tracer, and it said Batman across the windshield.
All right.
But that was my nickname. So I've already been Batman, okay? Tony Soprano is a badass. We know, he's mafia. He's, killed people. He's done some things that he probably ain't proud of. R.I.P. James Gandolfini, 2013. It's crazy. It's been 11 years since we lost him. But Tony, he's got that je ne sais quoi. He's just that.
I mean, like Bruce Wayne
I'm not saying, no,
he's
I get
a player
it.
Too.
This is a tough would you rather, but I'm going to take Tony Soprano.
Okay. Look.
You knew I was going to go that way.
No, because I was teasing about something like this, and I was trying to find somebody that can compete with Tony Soprano.
And Batman is a good competition.
Bruce Wayne, man, come on. So I'm going Bruce Wayne on this one.
I had a feeling.
I'm going to be the bad boy billionaire with all the toys, the luxury car, right? You know what I'm saying?
Tony's got the food. Give me the gabagool.
Who are you going to pick? Are you Tony Soprano or are you going to be Bruce Wayne? Let us know on the Twitter poll and or in the comments below.
Yes, and it's just for fun. Women can participate too. It's not just for men just because it's Batman and Tony Soprano. So let us know what you think. All right, we're moving on. We're talking some guns here.
Okay.
So this is good. This is a big win for 2A. We just had a kind of a big loss for 2A here in Colorado. Colorado legislation just passed that there is now liability insurance required to be carried on all firearm owners. I don't agree with it. That's where we're at. We'll see what happens from here. There's going to be some lawsuits and possible Supreme Court involvement. Over in Tennessee, the lawmakers have passed a bill to allow firearms to be carried on teachers, given that they have a concealed carry permit and they're doing everything legally. It's not like, it's not the Wild West where you can just open carry into the classrooms. You still have to have a little bit of control and legislation behind this to regulate it. But I like this. And, a lot of the anti-gun folks, some of our friends on the left were out there protesting, chanting blood on your hands, this is that and the other. We know guns is...
How is blood on their hands, though?
You're always going to have two sides to every story. Guns is a sensitive topic in this country, always have been, and certainly will continue to be.
Well, it's a right. It
is a right.
It's in the Constitution.
It's a constitutional right.
And if it wasn't for local militias and the right to bear arms, then we might still be part of the UK.
This is true. This is very true. So we're huge 2A guys, or I am. I can only speak for myself. This is a big win. So you think about it, folks. When you send your kids to school every day, especially in a place like Colorado where, it's very difficult to have guns in the classroom here, if at all. This is good, I feel like. I'm not saying that a teacher's not going to go off the rails and there's going to be accidents. There's always going to be crazy people everywhere. Like, you're never going to stop that. But I feel more safe sending our kids and our students of this country into classrooms where the teacher's able to defend themselves and their students with deadly force.
Yeah.
I think this is a great win.
I wonder which state has the most shootings in schools. Is it like Tennessee? Is there like a reason why they're one of the first to do this? Or?
Well, they weren't the first. There's about
about
half the state, almost half the states now have some form of legislation like this.
Okay.
Illinois did it a little bit ago. Indiana, I think, is on the ballot. So there's states making moves towards this. Mm-hmm. But this just happened to happen this week with Tennessee. It was a 68 to 28 vote in favor for teachers to be able to carry guns. I think this is a big win.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I can respect that. Obviously, you always just are responsible. Guns are a responsibility. It's not a toy. So
no.
let's just treat it safe. Let's only pull it out if we're intending to use it, and that's only if our life is in jeopardy.
Very important. It's to defend yourself and to save your life. Speaking of saving lives, we got something big here.
Yeah, this next one, the article kind of popped out to me, but then once we saw the video, I was like, oh shit. Yeah. So dramatic video shows strangers desperately fighting to remove a man from a car engulfed in flames, and they succeed. This is in Minnesota, is where this happened on I-94. So in this video, it's dash cam. It's like on a highway. All of a sudden, there's like a little flame ball coming up, like a car like crashes into something, and it's a CRV. It's sitting there. It's like burning, and the car stops, and then. Dude, people of all different ethnicities, of all different ages, of different genders, they all hop out. They're trying to open up these doors, but the car is pinned against a guardrail.
Yeah.
So the guardrail is preventing them from opening up these doors. And like windows, is as easy as you think they are to break.
They're not.
They're not easy to break. They tried breaking it with something. Thank God a serviceman, like some kind of like road service guy, pulls up, and he actually had like the correct window buster.
That was crucial.
Yeah, he pulls up. Busts that window, the guy hops out of the car, feet first, and look, like there's like explosions happening underneath the car. Like these flames are like getting bigger and bigger. It's like only a 3-minute long video, but that was intense.
The whole thing is pretty crazy. I mean, where the vehicle landed after the crash, like you said, pinned up against that guardrail, you see in the video, which I would encourage folks, scroll down, click the link, and watch this because it's intense. Everyone's trying to open that door, and they're trying to like bend this guardrail back to get that door open, and it just wasn't happening. So they had to, they're trying to break the window. They yanked the guy out free. I mean, because that vehicle was going to explode at any moment. We saw the tires. It was exploding. The tires were blowing out.
Yeah.
The excess fuel under the hood was burning. That was a serious car fire. So it really... it was good to see all these people come together. No one's standing there with their cell phone out recording it. Everybody jumped to action. Everybody was trying to save each other. It was terrific.
Yeah, and it's like there was almost nobody even talking about it. It's just we knew that, like, everybody knew intuitively, like, we just need to do everything we can to get this guy out.
Yep.
And I kind of liked how the crewman rolled up with the window buster because he, like, you could, like, see him walking up. He's putting his gloves on and shit. He's like,
let's do this.
Yeah, he was good to go, but that was intense. That was one of the most intense videos I've seen in probably over 2 months. Like it was white knuckle. It was a white knuckle ride.
Yeah.
And what else is a white knuckle ride is when you're trying to sleep and you can't, and you start getting frustrated. So who you call? Who you gonna call when you can't sleep?
Well, apparently in this case, just outside of Columbia, South Carolina, we talked a few weeks ago on this program about the zombie cicadas and how they do sex and all this weird shit, and then they turn into zombies.
Okay.
So the cicadas are in full effect. They're running rampant. I'm going to be in Kansas City next week where they're really, really rampant out there, apparently, from what I'm hearing. We'll see. So they're so loud, like, decibel-wise, so loud in South Carolina that police are getting calls, Art. They're waking up at 1:30 in the morning going, man, these cicadas won't shut the fuck up. And they're calling local police. What the hell are they going to do? What are you going to do? Start shooting the cicadas? I mean, come on, guys. This is ridiculous.
You can't even find these things when you're looking for them.
No. They're out there making all this noise. You can't find them. It's a freak of nature thing that you're going to have to deal with.
Now, was there like any description of like the person who called this in?
No, it wasn't just one person. They're getting multiple calls.
Oh, really?
From people, in this neighborhood area where apparently there's a whole. What would you call them? It would be a flock. It wouldn't be a.
It's a swarm.
A swarm.
A swarm.
A
That's
swarm
what
of
it is,
cicadas. Yes. So noisy.
Yes.
Has residents calling the police. It's just kind of more funny than anything. I think that's why I put it in here.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you going to do about it? That's like calling the police about a thunderstorm. Oh, that thunder was loud.
Yeah, it was waking me up. No, I can think about, where was this at again?
Columbia, South Carolina.
All right. This one is to the people of Columbia, South Carolina. So have you never heard of like earphones or like putting on a fan?
A white noise.
Or a white noise maker?
Yep.
Have you never heard of any of these things that exist to drown out noise while you sleep? Infants use these white noise makers all the time. They're extremely loud. They drown out all exterior noise. Like, come on, people. Why are you calling the cops on this?
It literally says here in this article, Art, one of the things at the bottom is that when scientists, collect these swarms, they use earmuffs when doing this procedure.
Yeah.
Because it is that loud.
They are loud.
They're turning decibels almost as much as a jet engine.
Wow.
When
there's a bunch of them.
Pitches sync up, it's loud. I don't think I've ever heard cicadas that loud. I've heard them, but they're in a 13 to 17 year cycle where it's really bad, and we've talked about it this year. So look, folks, there's nothing you can do. Don't call the police about the cicadas.
So this is one of the trickle down effects of what we were talking about weeks ago, man, and we're seeing it happen. We warned y'all, and this is what's happening out there.
Yep.
So what we got to do this weekend, I'm going to jump off on the first one, Stagecoach Country Music Festival all weekend, and that's Endo, California.
Yeah, that's right. Coachella's over, so now it's on to the Stagecoach. It's music festival season, guys.
It's beautiful out.
It's gorgeous. Get outdoors. It's going to be quite rainy here in Colorado tomorrow.
Okay.
We're going to have a nice rainy Saturday here in the good old CO, but we need it. It's that time of year. Let's get the moisture. Let's keep the fire danger down. We got Springfest 2024 going on down in Savannah, Georgia. There's going to be some cicadas there, so let's not call any local authorities. Just enjoy the music.
And then Taste of St. Augustine. That's happening in Florida. That's going to be going on all weekend as well. Definitely want to check that out. All the good food. I'm just not prepared for these big meal type of things. You're out in the sun, you're drinking, you're eating. Like I'm gonna need a nap, and I'm only in my 30s. I need a nap.
They used to do the Taste of Colorado here now, but we replaced it with the Denver Food and Wine Festival. It's basically the same thing. They're fun though. Get outdoors, do it. St. Augustine, what a beautiful town that is. NASCAR is going on this weekend. We're in Dover, Delaware. We're at the Monster Mile. I've been to that racetrack. Saw Jeff Gordon win there in 2014. The Concrete Mile, Miles of the Monster. Who's going to conquer it? Should be a great race.
Excellent. And everybody should be checking out Mash the Gas podcast. Releases every single Monday. And
Money Monday.
Yeah, they bring on that money because if you're into like stats and you want to get some good stuff going, definitely tune into that. And where can they check us out, Kev?
Well, we appreciate your continued support here at the Discussion Combustion Production YouTube channel where you can find all the great shows, Raw Talk, Discussion Combustion Podcast, and Happy Friday America every single week. Count on the content. Follow us on social media, Instagram and Facebook at Happy Friday USA. Twitter X where you can get in the polls, watch the promo clips. That's going to be at Happy Fry USA. And if you want to go old school and send us an email, that's happyfriday@gmail.com. Of course, we continue to bring you the content, have fun every single week. The Fricashinas rocked it in Denver last week, and they're getting ready to rock us into this weekend. Enjoy your weekend, America.